You're open?
Hi, Kirkland.
Hi, Cindy.
Welcome to Is It Us?
Is it us? We're going to perfect that, but is it us?
We probably not, but is it us? That's a good question. So both Kirkland and I just got back into dating, right? And boy, I feel like things changed from when I was dating before. In a way, I feel like I haven't been single.
Nothing's changed.
Well.
What do you feel like it's changed?
I don't know. That's every time we're talking about dating, I'm always like, so is it different for two guys? To me, I feel like guys are not half of the gentlemen they used to be when I was dating. Let's say when I first moved here from Florida. Like, I don't feel like guys are half. Like, Shani and I were having this conversation. Guys are not as much of a gentleman as they used to be now. And, you know, small things.
They were gentlemen?
They were much more gentlemen. I don't know what it is now that changed. So, I would like to say, that's the thing. Do guys, like, open doors for guys? Like, that's why I always ask you, are you guys doing those things?
None of those things are different, but I don't feel like they're less gentlemen now than they were then.
I think they are.
Okay.
I definitely think they are. And I think a lot of ladies will agree with me. That's probably new into the dating space. So, anyways, like I was trying to open up. Like we both just got back into dating, and we just wanted to sit on our new couch and talk about some of the trends we're seeing in our dating life, right? From lack of communication.
The extreme
lack of communication. Guys are just, that's the thing. It's hard to say guys are not consistent because that's what we both date. But are women also not consistent?
I don't know. Are you not consistent?
I'm super consistent. If I'm not consistent, it's because I don't like you. Like, or I'm just, even as busy as I am, quote unquote busy, like I'm super consistent. Like this guy I'm talking to now, like he's like, oh, I'm trying to keep up with your energy because I'm fucking consistent. Ooh, guys don't have that issue with me. So
trying to keep
what does that mean?
So I feel like the biggest issue that I'm experiencing is the lack of communication.
Ooh,
and it starts in the very beginning. So it's like we can't even get into dating. We can't even get to date, period, because you don't communicate. Like on any level. It's like you're talking to somebody and they feel like it's appropriate to call you once every few days.
Like that's funny. That's something we talk about a lot. Like Kirkland and I, we might not see eye to eye was like face to face. We might not see eye to eye on a lot of things in life, but I feel like dating, I think like we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I think one thing, are you cut off? You think I was too close to you, but now you need to be closer to me. But I will say one thing we see eye to eye is relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, business relationships with our family, our friends. I think we seem to, we up here with that. And I feel like, and that's what I come across, and not just in dating, you guys, like people just don't know how to communicate, and people don't know how to be consistent. And now
is it don't know how to? That's really what I think. Like, is it don't know how to, or people just like
they just choose not to do it?
They choose not to.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say
you give people benefit of doubt.
Girl, you know, new year, new me.
All of that's a lie, because every time someone says that, you know they lying.
New year, new me.
See what had happened? What? No.
When I say I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to say there is no way like all these people on earth are like this inconsistent. So I'm going to say it's because they just think it's normal. Like that's what everyone does.
Everyone does what? Clearly everyone's not doing that.
Well, not everyone, but
how do people end up in these relationships? Period. Like, how do you even get to the place to end up in a relationship?
Because they're both the same way. We talk about this. If two people are inconsistent, it's going to work.
No, because it's not going to work.
It is going to work. Because it is going to work, Kirkland. So if I'm inconsistent.
So does that mean it takes people 20 years to end up in a relationship?
No.
Because how do you get, that's my point. Two inconsistent people can't end up in a relationship.
Absolutely, because neither one of them have these different expectations. So if
we're not talking about expectations.
I know. I'm saying if I'm inconsistent, you inconsistent, which means I can get on you for being inconsistent, or I'm not expecting for you to like call me at a certain time or communicate something because I don't do it.
That's not what I'm talking about. Like that's not what I'm talking about. So forget about expecting you to do anything. You have to talk enough to feel like, okay, I like this person enough to want to enter into a relationship with them. So how do you get there if both of y'all aren't talking?
Because they don't see the issue. They do get there because they're looking at it like, oh, if I talk to so-and-so every other day or once a week, it's not an issue. So which means the time that
you talk every other day, which means you're only talking 3 times a week, or let's say 4 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week.
And if it's 2 people are inconsistent, that's more than enough for them each.
So it has to take you 20 years to get into a relationship.
Cool. It might take them a little longer, and also keep in mind nowadays people are not exactly doing like the true getting to know people. They're just diving into. Like,
how are they diving in?
They
you
are
have to talk to dive.
They are that. You have to be calling people their friends or their boyfriends.
Yes, but you have to talk to dive.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. That's what I'm saying. I feel like nowadays people are just like you. We have this conversation all the time. Like I feel like people calling people's friends, but they're not really their friends. Like they just because they know them, they're like social media friends. They have not really have much conversations. Like outside of social media, they're calling each other's friends. So that's the same thing.
You just said it. They're talking somewhere.
No, they're not. How much talking you do on social media, Kirkland? How much talking can you actually do on social media to say that this person is my friend?
Okay, so break it all the way down, because that's what I'm trying to express right now. So if you break it all the way down, right? I cannot call you my friend until I have talked to you enough to feel like you're my friend, right? Even if even if your definition of friend is something very loosely, very vague, you still have to talk enough to feel like, oh, this person's my friend, even if it's one time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
so how are people getting there? Because no one's talking to me.
You know how you're talking to someone, like, let's say you meet someone on dating website, because that's what I did, and then you exchange numbers, but you only talk via text message. Would you say, can you get into a relationship with someone you only talk to? Exactly. It's the same thing with social media. How do people calling themselves friends when they only interact with social media? They never meet in person. They probably never talk on the phone. And I feel like that's the same thing people are doing with dating these days. They like having these on the surface conversations. Like they're having these vague conversations like, how was your day? I ate today, like very vague conversations. And then that's what's not taking them 20 years to get to a relationship. That's why they're calling each other's partner.
Even that, what you said, you need to talk enough for that.
But that's the thing.
Whether it be vague or not. But
that's the thing. People thinking if I talk to you, let's say in the last 3 months, we talk every other day, to them, 2 inconsistent people, that is more than enough for them to get into a relationship.
Well, I'm not even experiencing that. So I don't know how this is supposed to happen. That's my point here.
Well, what both Kirk and I kind of experienced, right? Because Kirk and I, we are super consistent people. We have asked, the reason why we call this Is It Us? Because we personally, whoever we dating, we like to talk to them Every day. Multiple times per day. My thing is, if we're talking and we dating, you're not talking to me.
Who are you talking to?
And what are you doing? Because I'm busy. Like, I really, you guys, I am not on social media all day, every day. Like, that's not all I do. So, but at the end of the day, one thing that's always in my hand is my phone, right? So I can talk to you when I'm doing my makeup. Which is why I can talk to you when I'm driving. I can talk to you when I'm pressing t-shirts. That's when I normally actually talk to people. So to me, how busy can your day be that you can text me in the morning, maybe midday, and at the end of the day? Kirkland is different. Kirkland wants to talk to you throughout the whole day, all day. But I'm okay with it because I understand I might not have a 9 to 5. Guys, I date, normally have a job. So I completely understand that they're not just sitting at the house and waiting for me to call them. So I completely understand that they have work, they have family, they have all these different things. But at the end of the day, so don't tell me you're not going to talk to me for 2 days. But what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
And I get it. We like I said, I'm an online dater. So which means if we just started talking, chances are I'm talking to other people, you talking to other people. So we probably have not prioritized each other. I get that. But at the same time, even if I'm talking to 5 guys, best believe every single one of them will feel like they're my number one, because I will call them and text them I won't skip a beat. So that's my thing. So talking to multiple people is not an excuse. To me, Kirkland do feel like it's because they're not that into you, or to me, I don't think it's not that they're not that into you. I think they're just so inconsistent and they don't know how to balance dating. Because dating, the whole purpose of dating is to get to know multiple people. So if you cannot get to know multiple people, then only get to know one person at a time. Which is how Kirkland date, actually.
I only date one person at a time, but these nigglets are not consistent on any level. I don't understand how you're supposed to get to know somebody that thinks it's appropriate to talk to you every other day. What am I getting to know about you every other day?
Every other day. And by the time, listen, Kirkland might date one person at a time. I will date as many people as I want. So by the time you get back to me 2 days later, I already made a whole new connection with whoever, and I'm talking to that person every single day. And by the time you message me 2 days later, I already moved on. I already moved on to how do you say it in dating shows? Is it player number 1, player number 2?
Oh, okay. Listen.
Just kidding.
So the premise of this first conversation is really just to find out, is it us? We would like to know, what is your communication style when you're dating people? How do you get to date people? Because we want to understand, is it us?
And keep in mind too, it's not just on dating, because we have this issue with friendship, with partnerships,
it's
business partnerships. People just don't know how to communicate. And to me, we can't be the problem. I don't think we're the problem. But at this point, sometimes when something keep happening to you, you do have to look at yourself. So,
is it us?
Is it us? So that is what this show is about. So really definitely trying to get into why. And what I say, it's not just dating, and it's even as far as customer service rep. Those people don't know how to communicate. It seems like everyone likes communication, and at this point, we want to know, is it us? We are consistent people. Now, I'm not saying I've been the best communicator on earth, but I have put a lot of work in to communicate better. And especially if we first started dating, or we in a friendship, or whatever the case may be, I do my best to better communicate now. I do so much better. Kirkland. I do my best to better communicate. And then at the end of the day, I'm too busy. I'm too old to be talking to someone every other day. I'm too busy and I'm too old to be accepting these half-ass friendships, relationships, partnerships. We're just too old.
Half-ass nothing is allowed. And I think that's the biggest thing too. It's like when you're in this process of getting to know people, and everybody wants to do things at half-ass, and I just don't understand it. Like, if you're gonna do something, do it.
Yeah, I think definitely every single thing you take on, you have to give it your all. You have to give it your 100%. And if you feel like you cannot commit, then maybe this
ain't for you.
Okay, so
stay the fuck out of my life.
Okay, so I have a question. So that's for you, Kirk, and that's not for the people. It's for you. It's for you.
Stop touching me.
Kirkland, why would I not touch you? This is our true lives, but you guys know Bumble is my favorite dating site. But I think people act like, I feel like, because I've had this conversation with people, and I've had this conversation with guys who'd be like, well, I prefer to meet people in person, or women be like, oh, I prefer to meet people in person, you know, the connection is better, or the whatever they think, communication and relationship is better. But in reality, it's really not, because I want you guys to remember, the same people that you're meeting in person is the same people on that dating website. So do you feel like some of these dating, I guess, issues you have in dating website, do you think they will be different if you meet the people in person?
I don't know. I don't think people act differently where you meet them. I think
that's what
people act differently who they're meeting. So I guess
maybe act different who they're meeting. So like,
this is the part I believe. I believe that if they met you in person, they may have, because we as men are visual people, so meeting you in person might speed up the process in their mind. Like, you know, they're already attracted to you.
I get that.
Right.
Yeah, but I feel like, okay, yes, online dating, they're going by pictures. And of course, when you start talking, you probably do the FaceTime thing, which I'm good on the FaceTime thing. I mean, once you started talking, like, I've called guys the first conversation on FaceTime. Not only do I want to see what you look like, I want you to see what I look like. Well, not like this, because I have a makeup. I want you to see what I actually look like with app. Because my pictures online, they're pretty cute. I mean, I'm cute, but the pictures are like, I do have a makeup. My hair is that I'm cute. My outfit is popping. So, but I mean, I can see that, but at the same time, someone who's inconsistent and likes communication, it really doesn't matter where you meet them.
That part, I agree. Yes, that doesn't matter. People, they're going to be inconsistent regardless. But I just feel like if you meet them in person, there's a chance that they might already feel that initial spark. And then because they feel that spark, they react differently than they would meeting you online. Maybe that's the only thing, but other than that, everything else, they trash, they're going to be trash in person too. So that's that on that. So what I want you guys to do is let us know, is it us? I feel like at the end of every episode we should be like,
is it us? Okay, maybe we're just too consistent. Maybe we're just consistent people who have worked on how to better communicate, and the world just out here can catch up. But is it us? I don't think it's us. But
let us know in the comments. Is it us?
So where is this going?
Well, no, we'll figure that out later.
Because Kirk said leave it in the comments. So wherever it's at, I'm just going to have comments. So drop it in the comments. We're going to put this on YouTube. Let's do it on YouTube. Let's do a YouTube channel.
Okay, all right. That's too much. Later, hoes.
Bye.